Ladies and gentlemen, hey, hi, how you doing? Welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we ended up getting the full Season 4 patch notes for Black Ops 6 and Warzone. This includes the multiplayer patch notes, the zombies patch notes, the Warzone patch notes, the global changes as well. I will have timestamps on the video, so if you guys want to skip to a specific section to hear what changed with this update, feel free to do so. But with this, we got a lot to cover here. I actually just got out of a call with several developers talking about some of the Season 4 updates. We can maybe throw some insight here and there with certain notes and everything. But let's dive right in. This is the 1.74 title update. Obviously, Season 4 drops tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time, and that download should be going live either early tomorrow morning as like a preload on most platforms, potentially later tonight. I know on Battle.net it's already out. It's like 37 gigs or something like that. We've obviously covered a lot of the main content thus far already. We previewed the roadmap and all the blogs detailing all of this stuff last week when it was originally revealed. What we're more interested in is the actual gameplay updates here. So multiplayer, first up, maps. Firing range, they adjusted some spawns, then also some water alignment on the ground. On Nomad, they fixed some rendering issues and some geometry issues. On Dealership, they fixed some collision issues. With Free For All, they made improvements for the spawn logic. And then in Infected, they addressed an issue that could prevent the first infected player from getting their loadout. We then get our weapon updates, and the devs in our call previewed that there were going to be a lot of tuning adjustments made in Season 4. They say, we are kicking off Season 4 with burst fire, marksman, and LMG improvements, as well as adjustments to several assault rifles. Both the burst weapons and LMGs can be quite strong but challenging to use and effectively in fast-paced gameplay. Our changes are aimed at areas where these two classes struggle with that faster pacing. The assault rifle adjustments are more targeted. Overall rifle balancing is in a good spot, as is the class's balance in the greater meta. The changes here are meant as small corrections to the highest and lowest performers. This update also includes adjustments to a handful of attachments across multiple classes. These attachment changes are intended as an early step to address some variances within the weapon classes. We'll have more on that in future updates. But diving into the weapon updates now. With the XM4, the CHF barrel got its penalties on recoil reduced a little bit. The marksman foregrip view kick reduction while focus was increased. The gun kick reduction while focus was increased as well. Heavy stock flinch reduction was increased. Combat stock flinch reduction increased as well. AK-74, we're adding a few more meters to the AK-74's max damage range, bringing it closer to some of the other assault rifles. The weapon already has higher recoil to contend with at those longer ranges, so basically its close damage range is going to be a little bit better. Its minimum damage range as well there. CHF barrel also got those same recoil penalty reductions, and then same marksman update as well on the foregrip there. Aims, heavy stock, and combat stock flinch reduction increase there. GPR, they say we are removing the GPR 91's mid damage range. The range has the same base TTK as the max damage range, but a lower headshot potential. The GPR now only needs 2 headshots to improve TTK at all ranges, just one with the CHF barrel, so the range gets buffed there. CHF barrel again is going to be easier to use. Marksman foregrip gets some view kick and gun kick reductions there. Model L, CHF barrel recoil penalty reduce, and then also marksman foregrip view kick reduction as well. Goblin, same deal there as well at the marksman foregrip. Heavy stock and combat stock flinch reductions there as well. Those are both increased. On the AS Val, we'll see a small increase to the damage in its mid damage range, which will reduce the number of headshots required to achieve a faster TTK. So damage buff there in that medium range. Krig, marksman foregrip, same changes here with the view kick reduction. Heavy stock, combat stock, same changes there with the flinch reduction being increased. On the Cypher, marksman changes are the same. Heavy stock, combat stock changes are the same. Kilo, the Kilo 141 remains a highly predictable and controllable weapon, but the view kick will now need to be countered throughout the entire recoil pattern, so they increase the view kick strength. Marksman foregrip also got the view kick reduction and gun kick reduction changes as well. Then lastly, on the AMAX, receiving a slight recoil nerf such that players may want to take additional recoil attachments, so view kick strength and deviation has been increased there. Marksman foregrip changes are the same there as well. So mostly just behavioral changes on the rifle meta here, outside of a few damage changes and range changes like on the AK and the GPR. Keep in mind this is for multiplayer. Only Warzone will have its own weapon updates here. C9 heavy stock flinch reduction increased. KSV marksman foregrip view kick, and then also heavy stock and combat stock flinch reduction increases as well. Tanto marksman foregrip reductions there on that view kick. PP919 heavy stock and combat stock flinch reduction. Jackal marksman foregrip view kick reduction. SOG marksman and heavy stock and combat stock reductions there, all being increased with the view kick and the flinch. PPSH marksman foregrip view kick reductions, and then also Ladra marksman heavy stock combat stock. Basically just copy and pasting all those changes to all of these weapons. ASG 89 gets more of the same with the heavy stock and the combat stock, as does the Maelstrom. They say with the LMGs, we are continuing to look at ways to increase the effectiveness of LMGs while still making them feel like LMGs. This update will improve recoil and base movement speeds for all LMGs. In particular, the movement speed while firing in ADS is improved by about 10% in most cases. These changes are intended to help LMGs sit better with the pace of the game, but not negate the balance trade-offs of higher recoil and lower mobility in this class. So attachment adjustment for all LMGs, the marksman foregrip view kick reduction has been increased there. For the PU-21, they reduced the view kick strength and deviation. Movement speed was increased. Sprinting movement speed is increased. ADS movement speed increased. ADS firing speed increased as well. Heavy stock and combat stock flinch reduction increases there too. XMG reduced the view kick strength and deviation. Movement speed, sprinting movement speed, ADS movement speed, ADS firing movement speed all increased there. Going to be the same deal, it looks like, here on the GPMG, and then same deal on the Fang, and then also heavy stock and combat stock flinch reduction increases here. They say for marksmans, burst fire marksmans with one burst kill potential require a careful balance of risk and reward. Having these weapons in the marksman rifle category helps keep mobility and handling in check, but our best tools for balance are the recoil, which controls the consistency of the one burst at the time between bursts, which directly ties into the risk of the gameplay style. We think the burst rifles still have some room to be stronger without upending the risk and reward balance there. So we're improving the burst fire cooldown on the SWAT and the AEK. We're also improving the rapid fire attachments, but we want to make sure there's an appropriate trade-off here. So SWAT 5.56 burst fire cooldown reduced, adjustments to the recoil pattern within the burst. On rapid fire, burst fire cooldown reduced, vertical recoil penalty increased, horizontal recoil penalty increased as sort of the trade-offs there. Marksman foregrip gets these same changes as before. On the Sarkov, marksman, heavy stock, combat stock all seeing the same reduction increases there. AEK burst fire cooldown reduced, rapid fire burst fire cooldown reduced, and then more recoil there as you're spamming that. Marksman foregrip, same changes as before, same deal on the DM10. TR2, the drop time on this will now match the other marksman rifles, so that's been improved. Then same changes for the marksman foregrip, heavy stock, and combat stock. Then on the D13 sector, address an issue with the projectile behavior when firing into water. On score streaks, address an issue that can prevent lingering fire. On the napalm, they also address several missing voice lines with different operators. Handful of new UI updates. They've actually rolled out an expanded and updated death recap, so affected by live ping, UAV, unsuppressed weapons, all that stuff that we've had in Warzone is now also there in multiplayer as well. Fixed an issue where players were able to open the fire mod attachment skins, an issue when highlighting the non-prestige challenges with missing metadata there. An issue with fire mod attachments and the UIs there not being interactable. An issue with the scoreboard displaying 8 rounds is the win limit despite it being 6. And then also the UR eliminated splash sometimes staying on there too long. Feeder mode is temporarily disabled due to an issue with loading replays. They said it shouldn't be a long disable. It should be back here relatively soon. We of course have the same ranked play reset per usual there. They did restrict the C9 and the flashbangs there of course, but standard ranked play update for the season. We then get into the zombies updates for season 4. Terminus, they addressed some issues there. Same deal on Citadel Day More with just some minor random bugs. Modes address an issue where you are sent back to the lobby after pausing a game in split screen. A really annoying one there that they have now fully addressed. Pistols, the Strider increased the pack-a-punch damage, the ammo, and then also reduced penetration damage fall-off, so the Strider is better now. 9mm PM increased pack damage, damage range, increased ammo, scaled gun and view kick down, reduced penetration damage fall-off as well, so the 9mm PM is going to be way better. Grakova increased the damage and then also reduced the damage range a little bit there too, so the pistols are going to be a little bit stronger in terms of their damage output now. On the Sarkov, increased the pack-a-punch critical damage, the ADS speed lowered gun and view kick. On the DM10, increased the pack-a-punch crit damage, TR2 increased damage, critical damage, and lowered gun and view kick as well. Attachments addressed an issue where the belt-fed ammo pickups were not working after refilling ammo at times. For weapon blueprints, they fixed an issue where the death effects were not playing correctly, and also an issue with the game over blueprint where the attachments were wonky. Gunsmith addressed an issue where the mag and mag size detailed stats were incorrect. Quick Revive addressed an issue where Quick Revive would not default to the first slot regardless of when it was obtained. Elemental Pop addressed an issue with Elemental Pop not working with Pack-a-Punch, GS45, and D13 sector, and an issue with the Electric Cherry Augment as well. C4, minimum damage increased and max damage increased. Frag, mid damage increased. Semtex, inner damage increased. Field upgrades, Ether Shroud gets a couple of bug fixes here. Dark Flare also gets a slight issue fix as well. With support here on the Death Machine, increased the Death Machine ammo a ton. Mutant Injection addressed various different issues with this. Same deal with the War Machine and the Mangler Cannon. If you want to read the exact specifics here, feel free to go ahead and pause the video. Couple of Gobblegum bug fixes as well. Power-ups addressed an issue with the Wonderwaff turning zombies into crawlers when insta-kill was first active. Couple of mystery box updates, including an issue where there were only certain weapons appearing in the mystery box. There should be more variety now, which definitely is a good thing there as well. And also an issue where a zombie build weapon from the mystery box showed incorrect rarity. A couple of UI updates here as well, some graphical updates, and then they also addressed various stability issues. Now let's jump over to the Warzone patch notes. And by the way, as we are going through all the updates, all the changes with the Season 4 notes here, if you guys enjoy the video, you find the information helpful, a like rating is always seriously appreciated. And if you're new to the channel, you want to make sure that every single day you are in the know for all things going on in Call of Duty, whether it's news, updates, patch notes, meta breakdowns, which we'll have a lot of coming up here with the new season. This is the place to be, so feel free to hit that subscribe button and help get us one step closer to reaching 1 million subs. They say new update on Verdansk. We obviously have the Overlook POI in downtown replacing the large building there. It's going to be a crazy POI. We got some zip lines, cranes that you can actually interact with. It's going to be a wild POI for sure. Going to be very hot on those first couple of games dropping into the new season. High value loot zones, Superstore Quarry, and the Overlook have been added to that pool there. We've got Clash as a new LTM, going to be very similar to what we had back in Warzone 1, 52 versus 52 and cut down areas there. No circle collapse, just straight up chaos. Really good for camo challenges, leveling guns, doing challenges there. We have World Series of Warzone returning there, so that'll be its own little playlist thing when that happens. We got our playlist update lasting all the way until June 12th here. We're going to have duos and quads, only duos and quads on Battle Royale Verdansk. Resurgence is going to have all squad sizes on Rebirth, Plunder quads, ranked play trios, Clash, and then Battle Royale Casual is actually replacing Battle Royale solos. So we're going to have Battle Royale Casual solos and quads. The devs said this in the call that they are aware there's going to be some criticism behind this. They want to test and see what casual solos is like, and if there's an insane amount of feedback that, hey, just bring normal solos back, they're probably going to bring it back pretty soon. So they are going to be listening to feedback there. They obviously say this as well. Basically, we'll be closely monitoring player feedback and daily active user performance over the coming weeks to help guide the next steps in terms of what playlists they feel need to be out there. We of course have our ranked play update here, some new restrictions with launchers, perks, and others, the body shield, lootable event items there. Other than that, pretty standard ranked play seasonal reset here. General updates, they're testing new gameplay features and LTMs. We're actually going to have a full video talking about this here in a few days from the call, where they actually detailed this in more specific information. They just shared some of their own POVs with this, so stay tuned for that video coming here shortly in the next few days. Gulag, players now start with a single armor plate equipped in the Gulag there, so a little bit more health now in the general Gulag. On Verdansk, updated ground loot weapons, reduced the drop rate of LMGs, slightly increased the drop rate of SMGs, updated underbarrel and stock attachments on legendary rifles, adjusted the possible optics as well. The lootable perks available in Resurgence and Plunder are now Irradiated, Shrouded, Low Profile, Reactive Armor, Loot Master, and Ghost. In Battle Royale, buy station locations have been shuffled to inspire fresh combat encounters. The total's also been increased up to 49 from 47, so a few more buys are going to be on the map. Clash obviously coming back, the new search and destroy contract, where you actually have to plant a bomb at a buy station. A 3-minute timer spawns in, you go to that, you can actually then take out that buy station and it'll be inactive, it'll be disabled for 1 minute. So a cool little contract there that can definitely have a large impact on gameplay. Supply run adjusted the fire sale reward from the supply run contract, so it's only consumed during a fire sale public event if a free item is purchased. Flash grenade, the angles have been increased by 20%, meaning you need to turn further away to not be flashbanged. Concussions, the duration of which you're stunned has actually been increased. The minimum duration has been decreased, though. With this Clash, we have door barricades as a new feature there as well. Clash is also going to have the hand cannon scorch, because we saw on the blog last week. On Veteran, they slightly increased the resistance to stuns and flashes. Mountaineer, the fall damage reduction is up 2%. That's only going to be like a couple of meters at max, though. Probably not taking Mountaineer over Survivor or anything else as of right now, right? We also have Bandolier removal. The Bandolier wildcard has been removed from all modes. They don't want you stacking up all the ammo and everything with that, so that's not even an option anymore. We, of course, have our new weapons, the FFAR, the LC-10, the Essex. We'll be covering the weapon builds and everything like that also later this week, so stay tuned. Bunch of new attachments. We detailed this in our weapons update preview video yesterday. Weapon adjustments here. Our current weapon balance goals are focused on refining each class's role. Our goal is to rework LMGs to become more viable for long range while still being outperformed by rifles at mid range. At the same time, we're giving SMGs improved range to boost their viability and increasing velocity on rifles as well. So expecting some cool updates here. AK velocity is better. CHF barrel marksman foregrip also gets some penalties reduced here. The vertical and horizontal penalty, the gun kick reduction focus is also increased there. Aims, better velocity, better ADS speed, better sprint to fire speed, better ADS speed while moving as well. Heavy stock, combat stock each have their flinch reduction increased. Val, better velocity. AMAX, better velocity, slightly increased the view kick strength and deviation though. Marksman foregrip, view kick reduction, and gun kick reduction has been increased. AMAX is receiving a slight recoil adjustment such that players may want to take an additional recoil reducing attachment there, so you might need to test out the pattern and see how comfortable you are with it. Cypher gets better velocity, same updates to the marksman foregrip, heavy stock, and combat stock. Goblin, same updates for marksman foregrip, heavy stock, combat stock. Same deal in the GPR with the CHF barrel. Marksman foregrip also gets better velocity there. Kilo, better velocity, slightly more recoil there as well. Marksman foregrip is going to be better for the view kick and gun kick reduction. Krig, better velocity as well. Same updates on the marksman foregrip, heavy stock, and combat stock. Model L, better velocity. CHF barrel recoil is going to be better now. Marksman foregrip is going to be better as well for the view kick reduction. Velocity increase as well. Same attachment updates. CHF barrel, marksman foregrip, heavy stock, combat stock. Just copy and pasting all of that, it seems. C9 gets even more of a range buff. It's going to be the best SMG, like just by a mile, right? Max damage range on the 10 mil ammo is also better. Heavy stock flinch reduction increased. Jackal gets a range buff as well. That's pretty solid. Lower torso multiplier buff, and then also ADS speed is even better too. So the Jackal might be a little bit more of a contender now. That's cool to see. Same updates on the marksman foregrip. Compact gets an even better range, so that fastest TTK mark in the game is going to get even better now in that first damage range. Lower torso multiplier is better too, so the TTK is going to be slightly better. Sprint to fire ADS speeds were also improved. KSV is even better for sniper support now. That's going to be a huge W. Same changes for marksman foregrip, heavy stock, combat stock. Ladra's mid to long range is now even better. Same attachment updates for marksman, heavy stock, combat stock. PP919, same attachment updates for heavy stock and combat stock. PPSH, better range across the board as well. Better sprint to fire and ADS too, so that's pretty big on the PPSH. Those are a little bit slower there usually. Same update for the marksman foregrip. SOG, better damage range across the board. This thing's going to be really good in that mid-range now too. Same attachment updates. Tanto, slightly better range here, although its TTK is still really iffy because the fire rate there, if it had a damage buff, it'd be a lot more of a competitor. That's not going to be too huge though, I don't think. ASG, same attachment updates. On the Maelstrom, better range, interesting, so that's going to be a little bit more effective now. ADS speed buff, sprint to fire speed buff, and then same heavy stock and combat stock updates. On the Fang, oh wait, actually we have a general update first. All Black Ops 6 LMGs now inflict 12% more flinch on enemies, so LMGs are good for flinch now. Fang though gets its close range damage nerfed. That's not a huge deal. Range is buffed though in general. Lower torso multiplier nerf, reduced view kick strength and deviation, movement speed slightly increased, sprinting movement speed increase, ADS movement speed, ADS firing movement speed all buffed there. Same attachment updates. GPMG damage update in general. All the damage was nerfed here, but the range was buffed. Headshot multiplier nerfed as well, so the GPMG is getting a lot of damage nerfs here. View kick's gonna be different, and then movement buffs across the board. Same attachment updates. PU21, close damage is nerfed, range is improved though. Then again, lower torso multiplier nerf. View kick is going to be different now. Movement benefits, movement buffs there. Heavy stock, combat stock, marksman foregrip, copy and paste. XMG, worse close range damage, but better range across the board. Headshot multiplier nerf, upper and lower torso multiplier nerf as well. Reduced view kick strength, movement benefits, and then also marksman foregrip changes, same as before. AEK burst fire cooldown was reduced, so this is kind of the same stuff we saw over in multiplayer. Marksman foregrip update, DM10, same deal there. SWAT 556 burst cooldown reduced, and then adjustments to the recoil as well. Same marksman update. TR2 drop time has changed, same attachment update as before. Same deal on the Sarkov there as well. AMR Mod 4 gets better ranges. This is a one-shot headshot up to 114 meters. Ooh, the AMR Mod 4 could be very, very good now if you can land shots. The velocity is a little bit better as well. Upper torso and upper arm multiplier buff, leg multiplier buff as well. AMR Mod 4 won't be as good as the HDR, but that could be maybe the new number 2 sniper now. Like, that could be a really good one-shot range. One-shot headshot within 114 meters, plus whatever barrel and everything you stack onto it too. We then get adjustments here, death widget recap, so they've updated more information here now, whether you're on a precision airstrike cluster, everything like that, basically, if you can be heard coughing, which is kind of interesting there. Other adjustments, specialist perk tracking challenges requiring perk activation will now also track progress when players acquire specialist. UAV kill streak, the daily challenge for that also now tracks advanced UAVs. Camo challenge clarification, they've updated get kills while sliding for clarity on those challenges. Added an armory challenge for the Jack Intimidator via the armory menu. Then a bunch of bug fixes here. We're going to speedrun these. Fixed an issue where the most wanted target displayed in the mission UI could show previous bounty targets. An issue where the Jack backstock conversion kit was using the incorrect ammo. An issue in Warzone where kill streaks could become unusable for a remainder of the match. An issue where Warzone challenges requiring a kill on a player affected by a specific equipment was not working. An issue with several melee weapon descriptions that incorrectly stated they would one-hit kill, which is only true for multiplayer. There's no one-hit melees in Warzone. An issue where the advanced UAV score streak was incorrectly labeled as the Harp Assist. An issue causing the AS Val CHF barrel to be unrestricted in Warzone Ranked. An issue with ranked play restrictions in general not applying to default loadouts. An issue causing sprays to be restricted in Warzone Ranked. An issue with default contrails. And also an issue where players might see your profile was signed out. A really annoying bug there. I know several of you will be happy to see that one fixed. And that is everything that changed in the Season 4 update. I'm sure we're going to have plenty of COD updates, tweets happening right as this update goes out. Certain things will break. I'll be sure to keep you guys updated with everything in the coming days as we see new hot fixes go out. Obviously, all these adjustments being applied to the meta, everything like that. Stay tuned for all that by hitting that subscribe button, turning on those post notifications. And if you enjoyed the video on your way out, be sure to drop a like. But once again, thank you so much for tuning in. And until next time, take it easy. Have an awesome rest of your day, and I'll catch you later. Peace out.